Welcome back to Good Day Stateline. We are so excited to be here with Toni Vanderheyden and Greg Saunders at Sold On Toni, Keller Williams Realty Signature. Thanks for having us.
You are so welcome.
Such a beautiful office.
Oh, thank you.
And there's so much happening here.
There is. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, so today I know we want to talk about buyer strategies.
Yeah.
Because, our buyers who are watching, they're like, how do I make sure I'm prepared for this? What do I have to do? What do I want to think about? And you guys are the experts.
Well, thank you. We are. We've done a thing or two, haven't we?
That's our job. That's what we do.
Take care of good buyers.
Right. So what is it? What should we start with? What does it look like if I came to you and I'm like, I want to buy a house? What's the first step?
Sure. Most times people are going to call into our office and they'll speak to one of our two girls that take incoming calls. That's Brenna and Joanna. And what they do is they begin to get some information about that buyer and what their goals are. Most importantly, we want to get that buyer hooked with a really good local lender so that they're prepared to buy. And then starts the fun part, and that would be working with one of our buyer specialists, and Greg has been with us for a little over 9 years now.
That's a long time.
Yes, it is.
Worked with a lot of buyers.
Yeah, I bet. That's
He's
sure
very good at what he does.
deserves that specialist
Yeah.
title. So what's the goal when you meet with the buyers?
I always tell people I've got two goals to have them come meet me in the office. The main goal is to get them educated on the home buying process. It removes a lot of the anxiety because now they know, okay, A is followed by B, and then C happens, oh, and then D. Okay, so now I see it all on paper. Here's the 7 big steps to buying a home. And that usually alleviates a lot of anxiety. And then the second thing is to make sure I get educated on what they want to accomplish, because not everybody wants to buy the same house, right? Some people want to be in certain areas, certain school districts. They might want a certain style of house. I need to learn all that. So basically after meeting, usually within 40 to 50 minutes, they've been educated, I've been educated, and we can go forward and get the goal accomplished and get them buying a house.
Yeah.
And to meet with a professional that does this over and over. And what's neat about our team is that we all do different jobs according to our behavior style. So Greg's behavior style is super patient. He loves showing house after house until we find that perfect home. And that's quite different from different jobs on our team. So it's great because Greg's doing what he loves every day.
Yeah.
Right? And he's really good at listening, and that's probably what we get back from most buyers is that the agents that they've spent time with before just did not listen. They didn't prepare them for this very big process. So I would say that's what we excel.
Yeah. And you got to know, like you said, you're going to learn what the buyer needs,
Right.
which changes the whole game, really.
It does.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also like to tell people, my own dad and my stepmom, when they were shopping for their last home, they had their agent show them over 100 houses.
Wow.
Okay, and I was like, Dad, I wish I had my license when you were looking for your last house, because I would have listened to your needs and help you weed out the losers ahead of time so you didn't have to go look at 100 homes.
That seems like a lot.
Usually we're looking at anywhere from 2 to maybe 5, 6, or 7 at the top, and we found one that's worth putting an offer in.
If the buyer agent listens properly.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to miss that perfect home because they're out looking at 99 other ones?
Sure.
The buyer agent has to listen to what they want.
I recently was listening to a podcast too about how having too many choices is not a good thing. And so you're helping the choices, pare down to something that is a lot easier for everybody and will get you to the right step at the end.
That's our accountability partner in the home buying process. Okay, you said this one was a no-go because there was something about the house we couldn't change. Rip that up, throw it away. We're done with that one. Let's
Yeah.
stop thinking about that one. It's done. Let's move on to these 2 that you said were possibilities, and let's find out the best one that works for you.
And especially in this market when we don't have a lot of inventory, it's so vital that the buyer's agents do a strategy session, meaning this is how, it's almost like a football game.
Yeah.
You have to have a strategy to win. You can't just wing it. You've got to have a plan, and that's what a good buyer agent will do for you.
So what advice do we have for buyers, before they begin this process?
Well, knowing what you want is helpful.
Yeah.
I just listened to a podcast too about how trying to settle on things that involve a committee is nearly impossible.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's tough enough to work with a couple, let alone a bunch of people. So let's work with only the decision makers, right?
Right.
You
That means
listen
I'm
to-
leaving mom and dad and grandma,
That's
grandpa, the babysitter, and everybody else. They stay home.
We love them. Their
Yeah.
opinions are nice and happy, but let's focus on the 2 decision makers or 1 decision maker. I work with a lot of singles.
Yeah.
Probably my second most buyer is a single woman these days.
Really?
If you look at all the percentages, it's a couple, 2 people of whatever, married or not, but then the second most buyer that we work with are single women. And they like it when they're listened to.
Yes.
Yes. So that's my wife. I'm a good listener. So making sure we know what they want, getting that down on paper, refining our goals, making sure we know where the end zone is so we can score together. This is where we're going to be when we win. Okay, we're going to get this, the house that you want to be in this school district or wherever you want to be. And then, of course, the major thing, the number one thing really is to make sure you get your pre-approval.
Okay.
Because what does a seller want to see from an offer from a buyer? They want to see a proof of ability to purchase. So you as a seller are going to get 2, 3, 4 offers. What is the offer you're going to actually spend time looking at? It's not the one that says, I think I can buy. It's the one that says, I have the cash I can buy, or here, I have the proof of funds. And the pre-approval letter. So we always recommend working with a strong local lender. People love seeing letters from people that they like, know, and trust, right?
That makes sense.
So here's a lender that we all heard of before. They're local. If we need to meet with them face to face, they got an office right here. We can go see them. Those are the offers that normally are going to win.
All right, so where can our viewers go to get everything started?
It's your turn.
SoldOnToni.com with an I. SoldOnToni.com. Start there.
And our office line is 815-315-1110.
Coming up next, our next stop on the GDS Holiday Gift Guide, we're off to Xavier's Jewelers to see how quickly you can get a permanent bracelet put on your wrist, and then it's game day and Wine Wednesday too. We'll be right back.